Should the names of more than 24 people accused of paying for sex in a high-profile brothel bust be made public? That's the question at the center of a legal debate playing out in the state's highest court.
Our NBC 10 investigator Ryan Kath listened to the arguments from both sides. He's joining us live in studio to explain what's at stake here. Ryan.
Priscilla and Glenn, these so-called show cause hearings are typically held behind closed doors and only become public if a clerk decides there's enough probable cause to move forward. But several media outlets, including NBC 10 Boston, argue that the cases should be held in the open because of high public interest and to promote transparency in the process.
They are doctors, they are lawyers, they're accountants, they're elected officials.
U.S. Attorney Josh Levy describing the people accused of paying to be with women exploited in a commercial sex ring. That proclamation drawing intense public scrutiny when authorities announced the bust of the high-end brothel operating in Greater Boston and outside Washington, D.C. last November. So far, the names of the 28 accused have remained a secret. But an attorney representing NBC 10 Boston, WBUR, and the Boston Globe argued their hearings inside Cambridge District Court should be out in the open.
What the public perception will be if these hearings are closed is that anybody who is not charged will have done so, will have not been charged because they got some kind of preferential treatment behind closed doors.
But attorneys for some of the John Does say their clients are not public officials or people with powerful connections, and they argue their names should remain private unless a clerk magistrate rules there's sufficient evidence for criminal charges to go forward.
Just like grand jury proceedings, show cause hearings are presumptively private. And that's so that the livelihoods and families of those during an investigation aren't ripped apart before there's even probable cause found.
The NBC 10 investigators have successfully argued for these hearings to be open in the past, like the case of Brockton's former police chief, who faced a reckless driving charge after we exposed a serious crash in his department vehicle. Justices of the state's highest court will now balance privacy versus transparency in the high-profile brothel cases.
Sometimes the individual's privacy interests is overridden by the public interests in matters of public concern that have received the type of notoriety that this one has.
So the justices listened to arguments and asked questions today, but did not issue a decision. That's unexpected until sometime early next year. Ryan Kath, NBC 10 Investigators.